What's up, guys? Xxiou back here once again in No Man's Sky, and today we are talking about inventory management. Now, this video is not meant for players who've been playing for a while. It's for the new people. I know a lot of new people are coming to No Man's Sky, and I've seen on a lot of forums a lot of questions about inventory. You know, I don't have enough inventory space. How am I supposed to keep all this stuff? So I figured I'd make a video about it and give you some tips for the early game. Okay, so the first thing, early on, you do not have a lot of storage space. Now, this is all upgradable, but early on, you're not going to have a lot of storage space. But everything in this game, don't look at anything as really super important or irreplaceable. Like, so in the early game, for example, say you need to make a whole bunch of, you need to make chromatic metal or something, and you have nowhere to store it, but you have advanced ion batteries. Don't be afraid to just delete the batteries. Or, you know, navigation data, you know, stuff like that. Don't be afraid to delete it. Just delete it, because there's plenty around. Same thing with pretty much anything else. I mean, there's a few things in the game that are harder to obtain than others, but none of them are really game-breaking if you get rid of them, that I've found anyway, or, you know, gonna really set you back. So, first thing, if you need a specific thing and have no room to store it, just delete something. Even if it's something valuable, like this platinum's worth 4 million. But if, you know, you delete it if you have to, you can get the platinum again. So that's the first thing. You can always get it again. Now let's go over the different places you can store your stuff. Now this is an issue I actually have with the game, because I think it's too much. It's too much. There's too many inventories. So, all right, just to give you an example, let's call in our freighter here, and let's also grab an exocraft. All right. So, first we have our exosuit. Now, on the general tab, now yours, if you're just started out, you're not going to have all this. You're not going to have this much space. You have to open these up at space stations. At the exosuit guy, you can pay to unlock one of these, or you can find hollow terminuses. I think is it the hollow terminus? No, maybe not the hollow terminus. I forget what it's called, but there's little places you can find on planets which will unlock one of these for free for you, and you could use the signal booster to help find those. So your first thing you want to do is start unlocking all this as much as you can. Now, and I'm a little embarrassed to admit this, but I was hundreds, I'd say 200 hours in the game before I realized that there was this cargo tab. Now here's where you can store large amounts of things, large stacks. So you want to unlock all this as quick as possible. So as far as your exosuit goes, you got two inventories, the general and the cargo. And keep in mind, general is going to be taken up, depending on how much tech you want to run, it could be taken up a lot. Like, you could probably film most of this with tech if you wanted. I've kind of slim mine down so I could have more inventory spot, but that's a choice you're going to need to make at some point. How much tech you want to run versus how much inventory space you want. So next you have your ships. Now each ship has its own inventory. So if you have, say, 6 ships, that's 6 extra inventories. Again, on the general tab, all of this is not going to be unlocked. This is a S-class ship, so it's got max, slots, and I've unlocked them all. But you might have a much smaller ship with smaller slots. So, again, at the space station, you can unlock slots for your ship. Now, how many you can unlock is going to depend on the ship's class and the ship type. So keep that in mind. And it costs a lot to unlock them. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it starts in I want to say it starts in the millions. But I could be wrong about that. It actually might start cheaper than that, 5,000. But if you run derelict freighters, you can get storage augmentations. You can get these other places as well, but these give you a free slot, basically, in a starship to open up. You can use these at the space station if you have them. So that's starships. Again, how much inventory you could see here, I really don't have much inventory because I want to run all this tech on my ship so I can have these stats. So not too much inventory there. Of course, if you wanted to, if I wanted to remove the guns, I could get more inventory, but my damage potential would go down a little bit. So that's a starship, but remember, you can have multiple ships or you can have multiple inventories. Now you got your exocraft. So if you happen to have an exocraft, you're going to have an inventory in that as well. So for each exocraft, there's another inventory. These, I'm not sure if you can actually upgrade the slots. I never have. I don't mess around with these that much, so yeah, some have bigger inventories than others, but the exocraft is another inventory. Then, of course, we have storage lockers, and you can have 10. Now, what's cool about these is they're the same across anywhere you put them. So any base you build and put these storage lockers down, they're going to have the same stuff. They're going to have your stuff in them. Now, what's even cooler, and this just came out recently with the this came out recently with the new update, is the freighter. So the freighter has a pretty, and again, your freighter may not look like this. This is an S-class, and I've unlocked all the slots. But the freighter can now, you can access your storage units right from the freighter through these. See how I have mine named? I named my storage lockers recently to keep it a little more organized, because that's another thing we're going to talk about. So, for example, let's say, all right, let's take this unstable plasma, right? We have 7 of them. So we go to our suit, and if we just press X, I'm playing on PC, I'm not sure what the thing is on PlayStation or Xbox, sorry. But if we press X, you can see all the different inventories we have the option to put this in. Now if we choose storage container inventory, we would want it to go with the other unstable plasma, but you see it doesn't do that. It just goes to the first available slot, and that's what's very flawed with this system. It should automatically stack. It should automatically know to go there, but it doesn't. So it's something else to keep in mind. If you want to keep it neat and kind of know where your stuff is, I would suggest manually doing it like that. But yeah, that's, I mean, it's really tough at first, but like I said, don't be afraid to delete things to make inventory room, because you can get that stuff again. Even if you had to delete like a tech module, you could probably get it again. And the ones you buy, the tech you buy up at the Space Anomaly, if you uninstall that, you can reinstall it. It doesn't go away forever. The ones that go away forever are just the upgrade modules. Like, so say you get an S-Class hyperdrive or something, and you install that, and then you get a better one, you can uninstall the old one, but you can't reinstall the old one. So it's only for, like, the blueprints that you get up at the anomaly. You can reinstall all that stuff. And then materials you may harvest. Again, if you need room, delete them. You can always find another planet, maybe even a better one that has, you know, whatever you happen to be looking for. But there's no way around it. I mean, it's not perfect, the inventory system by far. I mean, there's no way to sort items or search for items, which is difficult. So the only thing you can do at this point, until they put something like that in, is kind of do it yourself and try and keep things organized. But there is a lot of inventory space when you get to that point in the game. Like, as long as you just play the game and follow along with what it's kind of telling you to do and do the little missions, you're eventually going to get a freighter for free anyway. And then you know, if you early on, you might want to pick up like a hauler ship, a cheap hauler, C-class hauler. It'll still have a lot of storage, so you can always do that too. But I agree, it's difficult, the inventory management in this game, especially in the beginning, but it gets better, I promise you that. All right, so I hope this helped somebody out there. If it did, you feel like it, give a thumbs up. If it's stupid video, you can give it a thumbs down. And thank you to all the new subscribers and everyone who's been dropping by my live streams. I've been streaming No Man's Sky live on YouTube almost every night. So if you want to come by and hang out, ask questions, just talk about the game, please do. All right, I'll see you guys soon. I love you very much. Bye-bye.